Yep, it's another video about Oliver Anthony. Let's go. What's up to all my wonderful 285 subscribers, and to any of you newcomers, maybe here for the first time? I am John, the creative blue collar guy. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button, like this video, share it out there for others to see, because every subscriber, every like, and every comment really does help drive traffic to this humble little channel. And as I already said in my intro, yes, I have another video about Oliver Anthony, because as I stated in one of my previous videos, I am a fan of Oliver Anthony. I enjoy his music. I appreciate the fact that he is willing to speak his truth and not apologize for it, and that no matter how much people want to try to weaponize his music for or against one political party or the other, he has been very clear that he is not for one party or the other. Obviously, you know, I'm sure he does vote, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be the type of person who's going to go out there and endorse a candidate or tell you who he's voting for or tell you who to vote for. So all the people trying to say, oh, this is a song for this political party, that political party, he's just like, no, you're both corrupt. I hate both political parties. The whole thing is screwed up. I absolutely love that about this guy. Aside from the fact that I actually do really enjoy the sound of his music as well. But, oh boy, we've got some more people who apparently don't appreciate Mr. Oliver Anthony, Christopher Anthony, going by Oliver Anthony music. Specifically his big viral breakout song, Men North of Richmond. And yes, as I've also stated before, I will probably continue to make videos about this guy from time to time, because I'm really enjoying watching his journey and watching him navigate the big evil machine that is the music industry. And so far it seems like he's doing it smart, he's doing it right. I did a previous video where I misspoke and said that he signed a record deal, or I said that he signed to a booking agency. He hired a booking agent. There were no contracts signed, there's nothing binding. He's just trying to get some gigs out there, but trying to keep his ticket price point where he wants it to be, which I think he said was somewhere between $20 to $45, no more than that. But yes, I'm enjoying watching what he's doing, but I'm also really enjoying watching other people. Well, the one about Rainn Wilson, he's part of Hollywood. That was no big surprise. But then people in the music world, kind of somewhat of a reason as to why I started this channel is to try to kind of find a community of people that are a little more like myself, where yes, I am a blue collar working guy who I work in a machine shop during the day. I'm a musician. I do other stuff on the side creatively, but I find more often than not that people in my day job industry, they just live to go to work, and that's it. They don't have any hobbies. They're not creative. They don't play music. They don't do anything of that sort. On the flip side, people that I find that are creative and are musical are extremely left-wing liberal. Now, I wouldn't consider myself an extreme right-wing conservative. I look at candidates, I look at issues, I look at things, and I vote according to how I feel about a certain specific thing each time. I don't just go down the ballot and go, okay, red, 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 red. But a lot of my values and things that I think and believe do lean to the right more often than not. So when musicians are so hard left to the point where they're the ones, like, you can't even have a conversation with them, because God forbid if you disagree with them on anything, they just start shouting and screaming and throwing a big fit. So I feel like for me, myself, I've been having kind of a hard time finding that balance of people that are, you know, yeah, I go to work every day, but I'm also creative in my own free time and stuff. But it's like on both sides of that, I just don't seem to have much. I haven't been able to find many people that I have common ground with on one side or the other. So in the music world, Mr. Jason Isbell is throwing shade at Oliver Anthony's song Men North of Richmond. Can I just start by saying I don't know what the big deal is about Jason Isbell. I don't know if I fell off the train and bumped my head or something, but I don't even know what this guy's politics are. I really don't care. It's none of my business. We're all free to vote the way that we see fit, as long as you don't scream at other people about voting differently. You're free to do whatever. That's none of my business. I don't really care. I honestly have no idea what his politics are. But his music is trash. I don't know if on Spotify you can pay to have your songs pop up on any possible radio or playlist that you pick, but there was a stretch of time there where it didn't matter what artist I chose. Like, okay, I want to listen to the White Buffalo radio on Spotify. I want to listen to Gregory Alan Isikoff radio on Spotify, and this freaking guy, Jason Isbell, I swear his song would pop up in every single one. If it was any sort of folk, country, acoustic, Americana, anything like that, he would pop up in every playlist all of a sudden out of nowhere. I'd never even heard of him. Had never listened to his music, had never searched it or listened to it on purpose. And after a while, I'm just like, wow, this guy's voice is awful. This is really hard to listen to. Wow, these songs are really bad. And I actually, because he's in like multiple different bands, I had to go through and find all of them and tell Spotify, do not play this artist. That was just based on my ear holes going, I can't stand the sound of this guy's voice or his music. Now it sounds like he's also kind of a douchebag. So let's get into it. Jason Isbell on Men North of Richmond and Oliver Anthony, quote, throw the whole thing out and write another song. Wow, those are some strong words there, Mr. Isbell. For this part, Anthony doesn't really seem to be a fan of his song being used for political purposes, saying that he falls, quote, dead center politically, and explaining Men North of Richmond is not a shot at either side in particular, but is really calling out politicians on both sides of the aisle. Thank you very much. Saying, quote, it's hard to get a message out about your political ideology or your belief about the world in 3 minutes and some change. But I do hate to see the song being weaponized. I see the right trying to characterize me as one of their own, and I see the left trying to discredit me. I guess in retaliation, that's got to stop. Yeah, so he even then, I think, I thought it was in this article somewhere, but I think a presidential candidate or some politician or somebody used his song or wanted to use his song, and he was like, no, you cannot. I don't want any politicians using this because what's the name of the song? I can't think of it off the top of my head, but he has another one of his songs where there's a line in the song where it says, it's like, well, the Republicans and the Democrats, well, they're both full of crap, or they're all full of crap. Like, he's like, no, it's like, throw the whole thing out. We need like a hard restart because they're all corrupt. Maren Morris also recently criticized Anthony's hit during an interview, which nobody cares what Maren Morris has to say, but we're already here, so let's go ahead and give her a few more seconds. Saying that there's, quote, a lot of problematic stuff. If you don't already know, she made this big deal about how she's leaving the country music industry because she thinks everyone's just all a bunch of ists and obes and that and whatevers and whatever. So she also went after Jason Aldean with his hit Try That in a Small Town. Maren Morris went on to say, before I heard the lyrics, I was like, this guy can sing his ass off. I really do love that type of sound. I like bluegrass. I grew up listening to a lot of that, and anything with a soulful tinge, I'm down for. She continues, I think it was the second verse that threw me for a loop. Plot twist, I don't have a ton of opinion on it, even though she's giving an opinion on it, but I did think it was crazy, and it was just kind of compounded with the small town thing. So now she's already trying to like compare this to the Jason Aldean hit, which again, I don't think was problematic. I think people are misinterpreting it on purpose to make him seem like something he's not. I'm not going to go through all the lyrics, but I would think at least this first line right here, I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just minors on an island somewhere. I feel like that's something we as Americans should all be able to band together and get behind. Like all the people trying to discredit and throw out the movie Sound of Freedom for whatever various reasons. Okay, maybe you don't like the movie, maybe you don't necessarily like the people and whatever, but what is portrayed in that movie is an issue far bigger than Tim Ballard or that movie or any of that. It's a real problem, and everyone just wants to, sweep it under the rug. I'm looking at you, all you Epstein clients that have yet to be revealed. During a recent interview with the LA Times, Jason Isbell also weighed in on the song and criticized Anthony for the song, saying that the singer should have thrown the whole song out and started over. Saying, quote, buddy, there's a reason you don't just jump in the pool. There's something there, but that's a song you should have written when you were 16, And then, when you were 19, you should have rewritten it without the part about hating people on welfare. First of all, I wish I was that talented and could have written a song like this when I was 16 or even at the age I'm at now. Second, again, people keep misinterpreting this to just hate on Oliver Anthony. He's not hating on people on welfare. He's not saying that welfare should not exist, and I'm not even going to get into that because that's a whole other issue all in and of itself. He's saying we have people abusing the system. There are people that should be and could be able-bodied to get up and go and work, but they've figured out how to milk the system, and then they get to a point to where they're so useless now they really do need the welfare, but it's because they were just sitting around doing a whole lot of nothing, collecting a paycheck off of yours and my tax dollars. Jason continues to say, and then when you are 20, you throw the whole thing out and write another song. This is the line. So that's the end of his quote. This is the line where I'm like banging my head against my desk going, did I miss something? I don't understand. This article from Whiskey Riff goes on to say, now, obviously, there's no denying that Isbell is one of the most talented songwriters in country music. No. There obviously is denying that because I don't think so. But again, maybe I missed the boat. I don't know. What am I missing here? Somebody let me know in the comments. But there's also no denying that Anthony's song has clearly resonated with listeners. It currently has more streams on Spotify than all but one of Isbell's songs. Suck it, Jason. And more streams than all of his solo songs from albums like Southeastern, including his massive hit Cover Me Up, which is an absolutely terrible song, which currently has 65 million streams, about 20 million behind Richmond North of Richmond. Anthony also currently has nearly 7 million monthly listeners on Spotify alone. Hard to argue that a song that's been streamed that many times should have been scrapped altogether, even if you disagree with what he's saying. Boom! Mic drop. So that's the end of that. Yeah, it's just, and I appreciate the fact too that he just really stays out of this stuff. Chris just, he's going about his life. He's doing his thing. You know, he did a couple of high-profile interviews, Joe Rogan among one of them. And I think even at the end of the Joe Rogan one, he said, okay, well, you know, I think I've kind of talked enough. He's put his face out there. He's told his stories. He's told his truth. And now he's just kind of, you know, I'm going to take a step back and just do the music thing. It also kind of seems like he wants to keep his private life fairly private. I do think I've noticed in some videos or pictures he wears a wedding ring. He mentioned in the Joe Rogan interview something about a wife, but he just, I think he really just kind of wants to be very private and kind of be left alone for the most part, which I very much appreciate and respect. So that's why, I mean, I'll talk about these stories that are out there in public and hope that I'm not doing anything to defame him or make him sound like a bad person, because as I'm going to state over and over again multiple times, I am a big fan of him and what he's doing, and that just he put this music out there, it struck a nerve, it resonated with people, and he's still just kind of like, oh, hey, like, I don't want to be like the arena guy, I don't want to be the big stadium guy with the big tour bus and the whatever. He put out songs that meant something to him. Obviously they mean something to millions of people, millions and millions. And yeah, I'm going to continue to keep tabs on this guy and put out a story whenever something interesting comes up. And then especially also when I can take a minute to talk trash on somebody that I already didn't like anyways, but now he's trying to talk trash on someone who I think their music is much better. So anyways, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. Again, please make sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Like this video, share it out there for others to see. Sound off in the comments and let me know what you think about all of this, because every like, subscription, and comment really does help. I will see you in the next video. Cheers.